Nothing beats starting a video by taking a big ol' stinky.
Rolo report.
We decide to head to bed so we can be fully rested for school tomorrow. When we get to school, Junpei approaches us at the gate asking where we've been. He's a bit excited and seems to be hiding something. Yukari shows up and informs us that the chairman wants to speak with us when we get back to the dorm tonight. Today we have class with Mr. Ono, who has the type of autistic that makes him obsessed with samurais. Also, he seems to hate emo because even though we haven't been to class in a week, he picks on us to answer a question. Here's the funny thing about Persona games in general. I guarantee you, most people do the exact same thing. They'll have to answer a question, and you'll see them frantically go for their phone to Google the answers. Every fucking time. We answer correctly and our charm goes up. After school, Yukari approaches us asking if we can walk home together. Emo makes a smart-ass remark about how it might start rumors, and she says she's worried about us collapsing again, so we head home with her. She decides to head upstairs first while we head to our room to prepare for the meeting. In our bedroom, we find something called a Twilight Fragment. These are new to Persona 3. You collect them and they can be used for certain things later on, so we best keep our eyes peeled for them. We head upstairs and begin the meeting. Entering the room, Ikutsuki begins by asking us how we would feel if he told us that a day consists of more than 24 hours. Which, yeah. Excuse me? Mitsuru isn't surprised we reacted that way at all and explains we have already seen it firsthand. I already explained it like an asshat in the first episode, but basically, the dark hour is a hidden hour that exists between one day and the next. Normal humans don't notice it because they are sleeping inside of coffins. However, special people, like us, can experience it, and some of which can wield a power called Persona, which gives them the ability to fight enemies called shadows. The group explains all of this to us and then offer us to join their group. Aptly titled the Specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad, or SEAS for short. We accept the offer and they hand us our own gun, which isn't really a gun. It's called an evoker and is used to summon one's persona. At this point in the meeting, a strange voice rings inside of Emo's head. This is where the game introduces you to social links, the bonds you have between friends. The stronger the social link, the stronger personas you can produce. The social link we have acquired for SEAS is that of the Fool Arcana. To conclude the meeting, Ikutsuki makes another terrible pun, and we head off to bed. The dark hour hits, and we are awoken to the boy from the beginning of the game standing over us. We ask him how the living hell he got in here, and he replies,
"I'm always by your side."
"You're one creepy little dude. You know that, man?" He explains that he has something important to tell us, and we tell him we don't give a shit, and he pisses off. We pass back out. We oversleep to an extreme degree, waking up in the evening to Yukari telling us Akihiko wants us downstairs. We get dressed and meet up with him. He asks for someone to come inside, and we hear a familiar voice. In walks one Junpei Iori. Yukari flips out, wondering the same thing I am. What the fuck is he doing here? Akihiko and Junpei explain that Akihiko found him crying at the convenience store surrounded by a bunch of coffins. Akihiko informed him about SEAS and explained to him what they're all about and offered Junpei to join. He has the potential but only awakened to it very recently, so Junpei will now be working with us and of course, living in the dorms. Now with their ranks beefed up a bit, Akihiko suggests that now is a great time to start exploring a certain place. Yukari calls it by the name of Tartarus, and Junpei, well,
Tartar sauce. What?
that is by far a much better joke than I could ever come up with. We decide to go back to bed to disassociate from reality. Hey, 420, nice! We head to school, and right out of the gate, yeah, I can make puns too, Ikutsuki. Junpei begins talking about how exciting life is going to be as a Persona user, and we hit him with the big ol' I don't care, and he is flabbergasted by our reaction. We then head into the school. During lunch, Mitsuru shows up and informs us that we have a meeting with the chairman when we get home and to not be late. She then dips. Yukari makes a comment about how Mitsuru is different than all of us, and Junpei picks up on the hostility.
It's not that I don't like her, it's just...
Nah, girl, own that shit. You don't like Mitsuru. It's okay. Probably because she's prettier than you? I don't know. After school, Junpei brings up that we should head out for the meeting. We get on the monorail, but it takes longer than usual. According to Junpei, multiple people recently have been attempting suicide by jumping on the tracks, a sign of apathy syndrome. He gets a text saying everyone is waiting on us, and we rush over to the dorm. Or at least I would say that, but Junpei gets distracted by the strip mall because he's hungry and wants food. We tell him we can think about that later, but for right now, we have a meeting to attend to. We make it to the meeting where Ikutsuki announces the commencing of exploring Tartarus. According to Akihiko, it's essentially a nest for shadows, and it is the only clue they have to uncovering the secrets of the Dark Hour, and from this day forth, exploring it will become our top priority. We all agree to head there tonight to begin exploring. Later that night, right before the Dark Hour hits, we make our way to the school's front gate. Confused, Junpei asks why the hell we are here, and then the clock strikes midnight. Gekukan High School transforms. It begins to widen and then shoots up into the sky, creating a colossal tower that reaches up into the heavens. Mitsuru looks on with a look that can only be described as guilt and shame, almost as if she's hiding something. Junpei asks her what the hell happened to the school, and she says she has no idea.
No.
We agree to head inside. Once inside, Akihiko says they need to appoint a leader. Junpei, thinking he's the perfect man for the job, begs to be made captain. But Akihiko is smarter than that and realizes Imo is the only one here who can summon their persona with no difficulty. And we also have fighting experience, so he goes with us. Junpei's toxic masculinity gets to him and he whines, but puts that tiny pill of resentment towards us away. For now. As we are about to get ready, Lord Imo notices a door in the corner of the room and in a trance-like state, walks straight into it. And big shocker, the door leads us into the Velvet Room. Igor explains that our journey is about to begin and that we will be coming here a lot and blah blah blah, personas are awesome, blah blah, summon multiple personas, blah blah blah, wild card, blah blah, we are special, blah. We exit the Velvet Room. Junpei and Yukari approach us confused and ask us if we are okay. Apparently they can't see the door, so they just assumed we were standing there for no reason like a zombie. With all of that out of the way, it's time to begin exploring Tartarus. We head up the stairs and enter the labyrinth. And this is where I would generally have a freak out because this whole entire floor is just a fucking tutorial. But that's okay. I can get over it. Mostly because I can button mash through everything. In the first episode, I said I wasn't going to get into explaining the combat, but to be honest, I think that does a bit of a disservice. You ever play rock, paper, scissors? Congratulations, you have played Persona's combat. There are buffs and debuffs. If you knock down all the enemies by hitting their weaknesses, you can do something called an all-out attack, where your entire party essentially dogpiles the shadows and kills them. It's fun. We go throughout the entire floor of Tartarus, and discover that Lord Imo has multi-personality disorder and has the ability to switch personas. We obtain Apsaris, and after clearing the floor of enemies, Mitsuru gives us the order to head home. We find a portal that brings us back to the first floor. Mitsuru asks us how we feel, and we brag about how it wasn't that bad at all. She seems impressed with us and jokes with Akihiko that we will all catch up to him in no time. He smirks and basically says, nah. We decide to head home for the night. The next morning, we head to school, and at the gate, a dude walks up to us. This is Kenji. Dude's friends with Junpei, so that tells you pretty much all you need to know. He asks us about our relationship with Yukari, and then explains he's not into her anyway. We then remember there is another morning assembly, so we head on into school. At the assembly, it is announced that Mitsuru is the new student council president. She goes on a speech about reevaluating convictions and says a bunch of stuff most of Americans wouldn't be able to fully comprehend. When she's done, Junpei asks if we understood what she said, and to be honest, Lord Emo wasn't even listening. He was busy listening to...
I think I saw you in my sleep, darling. I think I saw you in my dreams. You were stitching up the scene.
Later on, we decide to stay awake in class so our academics goes up. And after school, Junpei asks if we want to go to the mall. We head out for it, but run into Akihiko being chased by a bunch of girls. He notices us and asks if we are free this afternoon. Junpei gets the wrong impression, thinking Akihiko is going to go out with the girls and wants us to join. But nope, instead, Akihiko wants us to go to the police station in the mall, and since we were already heading there, that kinda works out. We get to the police station where we are introduced to Officer Kurosawa, which, if you never played the original Persona 3, you wouldn't know, but his voice actor is the original Akihiko. Or Gaara if Naruto is more your speed. Akihiko hands both Emo and Junpei 5,000 yen and explains it's from the chairman. Kurosawa understands that something much bigger is going on and has offered to sell us weapons and equipment under the table, but he ain't just going to give them to us, obviously. Akihiko leaves, and when I decide not to buy anything yet, we can finally use the yen for more important things at the moment. We leave the station and Junpei seems kind of annoyed that we were only given 5,000 yen and decides to leave. And this is where the game finally gives me full control of Lord Emo, and we have a lot of stuff we can do. First things first, we are going to head back to school and go to the nurse's office. Here we can talk with Mr. Edagawa, and he will give us a concoction he made up. We drink it, and because we did it without being scared, our courage goes up. Now we have to go around town and find every single Twilight fragment available to us. Okay, now that I'm a bit winded from running around, why not hit up the movie theater and increase our charm by 2 whole points? After the film, we head back home to the dorm where Mitsuru tells us that with Akihiko out of action for the time being, she wants us in charge of making decisions in regards to Tartarus exploration. She then also says we can now go out in the evening and do whatever it is we need to do, and we will immediately take her up on the offer and head to the mall and play a horror video game in the arcade to increase our courage once more before heading home. The next day, Kenji once again meets us at the gate, asking us once again if the rumor about us and Yukari is even true, and thankfully they give you a smart-ass response. He then says we have bad luck coming to this school, but we probably have no idea about the whole voices thing because we are always listening to our headphones. When class is over with, Kenji comes over to our desk and asks us if we would like to get ramen together. And because Igor said we need social links, Emo reluctantly agrees to go. We head to the ramen shop and Kenji won't shut the fuck up about the food and we tell him to shut up and eat. He then brings up Yukari again and that he would like to tell us about his secret plan next time we chill. We then get the whole I am thou conversation and have obtained our second social link, the Magician Arcana. With that out of the way, we head back to the dorm. I think we rested enough. It's time to head back to Tartarus. Okay, so this is officially our first time having free reign in Tartarus. Now, if you're a cool cat, you will do this all in one go. If you leave and come back, then you
can't stick with us!
Tartarus is split up into several different blocks. Between each story segment of the game, which I cannot tell you yet because that will be a spoiler, we can only go so far into the labyrinth. For this first bit, we can only go about 22 floors up. Every few floors will be a guardian shadow blocking your path. They are slightly stronger than the average shadows that you encounter on your way up. I hate to do another montage, but when we reach floor 22, we hit a blockade. We cannot proceed any further. We find a treasure chest containing an old document. Written is, "The power supply expansion has been completed. What's unusual is the excess wattage. Why would an island with only a school on it need so much power?" We talk with Mitsuru and she says we are done exploring Tartarus as of right now until we can figure out how we make it past the blockade. We decide it's best to head home for the night. The next day, we arrive at school and overhear two students talking about how sports clubs are accepting new members today. We will get to that a bit later on. After school, I decide to head to the police station to sell off any items I have and proceed to the Velvet Room. I begin fusing my personas. The goal is to get specific arcana for my social links, but here is where I run into my first big problem. I almost had all of them, but then Igor fucked with me. We then got Slime, which yes, is level 13 and very powerful for this point of the game. But that fucks up my whole system because fusing him is a bit tricky because of his level. I'm locked into only having a certain amount of personas at a time, so I need to manipulate this whole thing to make it work. Having Slime here ruins that. So I try some damage control and then Igor fucks up again. And at this point, I fucking lost it. I'm gonna try my best to do 100% run of this game, But this is not gonna make it easy.
Oh.
And I'm gonna have to deal with Gourmet King and fucking Chihiro again, and I'm having my doubts whether or not I can do this thing, man. I'm having my doubts. I'm having my doubts. We head to the nurse's office again to get our courage up. Now it's time to join the track team. We are introduced to the team by the coach, and we meet the manager Yuko and the future captain Kazushi, or Kaz for short. You might remember them from the first day of school where they were bickering. This is where we get the Chariot social link. After meeting the team, we decide to head home, but notice Yuko by her locker. Emo shoots his shot and is rejected. That night, we head to the arcade and increase our charm. The next day, 2 students are talking about apathy syndrome again. We decide after school to head to track practice and hang out with Kaz. He takes notice of how badass we are and decides from this day forth, he and Emo shall be rivals, increasing Chariot rank to 2. He then grabs hold of his knee. We ask if he's okay, and he says he just twisted it. Interesting. Okay, Lord Emo, you got this. We can do this, buddy. Let's hit on her one more time. She said yes! Yo! My guy! 2 birds in 1 month? I'm so proud of you. We hang out with Yuko and immediately regret it because, my god, she does not shut the fuck up. She complains about the other track members, glazes us, and says we can always turn to her or Kaz for any questions or whatever. We have obtained the Strength Arcana. After parting ways, we hit the arcade, increasing our courage, and then head home for the night. This morning, students are talking about a bookstore opening up at Iwatodai Strip Mall. After school, that's where we head. We enter Bookworms.
What would you like to order? Our special today is fresh mackerel.
As you might suspect, we don't serve sushi here.
I like this guy. They ask us about a persimmon tree at school, and we've never seen it, but might as well go check. We find the tree in the corridor and pick up a leaf on the ground. We head back to the store and show it to the old couple. They are flattered we thought enough about them to go and do that and introduce themselves, the wife being Mitsuko and the husband is Bunkichi. And like that, we have the Hierophant Arcana started off. We are crushing it. We end our day by going to the arcade. The next day, we have the day off, so we decide to head to the movie theater and work a part-time job. We gain some academics and courage, and an additional 5,000 yen, which I desperately need after that Velvet Room fiasco. At night, we head over to Wakatsu Kitchen and get the Prodigy Platter, which increases our academics by 2. The next day at school, we have another morning assembly. This one's a bit silly, but basically, the principal flat out copies Mitsuru's speech using similar phrasing and words.
The assembly.
I'd like to share with you my vision for this coming year. It is my firm belief that each of us must accept the... I'd like each of you to dig deeply into your well of motivation and reevaluate your convictions.
This is the key to reaping all the rewards.
He goes on about how he believes none of the students are involved in the strange incidences surrounding apathy syndrome, and we go about our day from there. During lunch, Mitsuru stops into our classroom.
Need some of your time after school. I have a special
Go on!
I apologize.
She tells us we will discuss it more after school. Lord Emo, I swear to you, if you fuck this up! During class, we have to bail Junpei out, which is very difficult for me because I fucking hate math. After school, Mitsuru shows up, and her special request is that she wants us to join student council. Basically, she just wants us there so she has an ally or whatever, so we head to the faculty office, tell Miss Toriumi, she signs us up, and we head into the student council room where we meet 2 new characters. Odagiri, who's head of the disciplinary committee, and...
I'm Chihiro Fushimi.
Chihiro. Odagiri is impressed with us considering Mitsuru personally selected us to join, and we gain his social link, the Emperor. After school, we head to the arcade, and our charm ranks up! Let's fucking go. At the gate, we bump into Mitsuru, who explains that if she isn't at the dorm, then we need to postpone us heading into Tartarus, which is fine with me. I only go once a month anyway. After school, we head into the hallway and bump into Chihiro and try to talk with her and... Do you see why I can't stand her? Chick's got problems. Anyway, we head off to track practice. Kaz grabs his knee again, and this time fully collapses. We bring him into the nurse's office where he tells them he has anemia, and they ask for Lord Emo to take him home. We put the pressure on him about the whole anemia thing, and he comes clean to us. The other day, when he hurt his knee, it hasn't stopped ever since. He says he has no choice but to keep training because they have nationals next year and he needs to be there. He tells us he can make it home by himself and to head back to practice, and so we do. Chariot ranks up to 3. We make it back home to the dorm where Mitsuru informs us that the internet line that was taken out by the Shadow a few weeks ago should be back up and running in the morning. Junpei, overhearing this, asks us if we play any online games, and we say we do, so he offers us one of his called Innocent Sin Online, which if you know anything about Persona, you would know that that's the title of one of the games in the 2 duology, Persona 2 Innocent Sin. But since it's down still, we might as well head to the arcade and play some games there. We play the horror one, and now our courage has ranked up to 2 as well. We are blessed with another day off for Showa Day, and Lord Emo decides it's the best time to play that MMORPG Junpei gave us. We hop on and immediately get hit with references to Persona 2, Phil being the narrator, which is short for Philemon being the first. We meet another user in a red dress who points out that nobody plays this game anymore, but we should hang out anyway. She says we should come up with a name and suggests Tatsuya, and she'll go by Maya. Then Atlas pulls a self-roast. She asks if we have deja vu, and if you say yes, she goes, I didn't think many people played that. Maya and Tatsuya are main characters in Persona 2. So, haha guys, why don't you do a remaster, please? It's about fucking time. It's 2025. It's been almost 30 fucking years. And don't tell me about the PSP version or whatever the fuck. No, I want a current gen remaster and I want it now. Oh. We also gain the Hermit social link. After we log off, we head downstairs where Junpei points out that we can now use the shared computer in the lounge, which we will be taking advantage of at some point soon. Now that we have ranked up our courage, we can enter Club Escapade. Here we can do a few things. Grab a Twilight fragment, and then talk with this sketchy dude over here. He sells information about the dark web that we can access from the computer in the lounge. After that, we head to the arcade to increase our academics. The next day, we have class with Mr. Edagawa, who's extremely boring, and please just fast forward through his dialogue and select stay awake. Even fast forwarding through him is longer than most of the normal teachers' lectures. Our academics goes up, and after class, we talk with Chihiro once more. Same thing though, she ain't ready to hang with the emo. We head off to Bookworms. The old man asks when his son will be coming home, but then comes to the realization that his son actually died a few years ago. We now understand them a bit more, and we rank up the Hierophant to rank 2. Once we make it home, we use one of the notes we got from the sketchy guy at the club to access some information from our school. Then we head off to bed. The next day, we bump into Yukari at the gate. She talks about how the weather is changing and getting warmer. After school, Junpei is all excited and shit because Akihiko asked him to deliver something to him at the hospital while he's getting his checkup. Yukari chimes in and suggests all 3 of us go. She asks what Akihiko asked Junpei to bring him, which happens to be the class roster for 2E. They ponder why he could want that, but we will get to that more later on. Not in this video. Sorry! We head to the hospital where we see motherfucking Shinji, the best character in the entire Persona series, and Reload makes him even more awesome. God, I love this guy. Anyway, Shinji intimidates Junpei by the sheer magnitude of him. Akihiko shows up and asks what we are all doing here. Shinji asks Akihiko if they are done with whatever it is they were doing, and
I don't have time for this shit.
I fucking love him so much. Anyway, Junpei gives Akihiko the class roster. They then talk about why he chose boxing, and Akihiko explains it.
Well, it's not the sport itself I like. I just wanted to learn how to fight with my bare hands. I know what it's like to feel powerless. I don't ever want to feel that way again.
Oh, and there's also this.
But hey, I got you. I'm into games too.
Yeah, video games.
After all the chaos, we head back to the dorm. Mitsuru brings up how with everything going on around town, she has a bad feeling. And little does she know, she's right! We leave the dorm real quick to head to the Net Cafe. Here we pick up a bunch of notes for the computer. We head home and check out Digital Cram School, where our academics finally ranks up to 2. We are slightly less dumbass than before. At school, there are students talking about how there's a show called Tanaka's Amazing Commodities that airs on days off. We might check it out, but I don't know. I don't like having songs stuck in my head, so I might pass on that. After school, we buy taiyaki from the school vendor and then go talk to Chihiro again, and why am I subjecting myself to this torture? I'm gonna hang out with Yuko because she at least has some form of a personality that is not a plastic cup. We go shopping with her and she spends most of it bitching about Mystery Koda, which, yeah, fuck that guy. She explains she doesn't really think about her future. She prefers to live in the here and now because she's young and knows being an adult is going to suck monkey fuck. We go to part ways where a child bumps into her. He calls her auntie and she says to call her big sis instead. Turns out they are neighbors. Wonder if this will be a plot point. Strength is now rank 2. We make it home and this is when Mitsuru drops the bombshell on us that midterms are coming up. Everyone freaks out, but I think I'll be aight. I'm rank 2 after all. Me caveman, study paper good. We take our taiyaki we got earlier and store it in the fridge for later. We then head to the arcade and increase our academics. When we go to bed, the dark hour begins. We are awoken by the little boy once again. How do you keep getting in here?
What kind of welcome is that? Besides, I'm always with you.
And stop saying that!
1 week from now?
He gives us a warning that the next full moon in 1 week we will have to overcome a trial of some sorts. Then he disappears into the darkness again. What is he? A member of Organization 13? What the fuck is his deal, man? The next day is the beginning of Golden Week. First day being Constitution Day. We decide to skip Tanaka's bullshit and hop on the game instead. Whoa, I'm playing a game? In a game. What kind of Persona-ception is this? Anyway, we talk about how lame we are for playing games on a day like this, and Lord Emo's best response is, Sunshine is overrated. You can't make this shit up. Anyway, we get the Hermit to rank 2. In the evening, we head to the lounge and on the computer check out the file, Language Made Easy, and increase our academics. The next day, we decide to hang out with Kaz. We go out to eat, and he is apparently on a diet, so he offers us his rice. He gets tempted to eat it, so he demands we eat it really fast. We head home and play Animal Othello, which increases our courage. On the last day of Golden Week, we ignore Kenji and hop on the game once more. This time, Maya is drunk. She talks about how she has work to do, but doesn't want to, which is extremely relatable. She expresses how she loves her job, but she's been doing it for so long she is just bored. She also compliments Emo on his use of proper English, even though he is online. You see, back in the day, we used to shorten everything. Now it's weird if you do that XD shit. Hermit is now rank 3. In the evening, we play Typing Ghoul to increase our courage once more. Unfortunately, the holiday can't last forever, so we have to go back to school. In the morning, we see 2 students talking about some lonely girl at the shrine. We then head to class and oh my god, Miss Onishi is fine as fuck! Sweet Jesus, we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen! Not only is she fucking hot, she is autistic as well. Look, she won't stop talking about trains. There's a joke somewhere here that is very obvious. I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I mean. We answer the question correctly and our charm goes up. After school, we head to the strip mall and go to this little place called Octopia. Here we buy weird takoyaki. We bring it to the shrine where we find the little girl. She asks if we are a good person and we tell her we are. And to prove it, we give her the takoyaki and then give her a Mad Bull, which she's like, what, 7? Kind of a bad idea to give a little girl an energy drink. Also, kind of sus that he heard about her and decided to go out of his way to buy her food and a drink so that he could befriend the child. Oh god. He's just like the guy from that Harvest Moon game. Oh no! No! Okay. So we head back to school and hang out with Yuko. We decide to head to the mall, and on the way out, she sees that someone has put gum on her shoe locker. Apparently, it happens often. Someone plays this prank on her. It's not very effective, but I mean, weird way to bully someone. We get to the mall where we run into 2 girls, and one of them is voiced by Jeremy Lee. Let's add that to account of how many times she'll appear in the games I play. Anyway, they like Mean Girls bully her. They call Lord Emo her boyfriend and somehow turn that into a joke, and then they passively aggressively leave. Yuko brings us to the bench near the fountain to explain everything. Apparently in middle school, Yuko was dating some basketball player, and it turns out he was also dating one of those girls, and that girl has held that grudge ever since. And yes, she is the one who is putting gum on her shoe locker. Lord Emo flirts with Yuko and flusters her, and that increases our strength rank up to 3. When we get home, Yukari says she feels paranoid, like something bad is going to happen soon. And yep, she's right! We grab the taiyaki from the fridge, which is now chilled taiyaki, and then head to the computer and check out the Iwatodai forum note, which gives us more drinks at the Iwatodai station. The next day starts off right after school, and we immediately head to the station to grab those drinks. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Chihiro will hang out with us. And like I said earlier, she's basically a cardboard box. We walk with her all the way home and we don't talk. She then points out that her house is in the other direction. We say we should have asked, but I'm going to be honest, even if we did, it would not have mattered because this chick is as blank as a sheet of paper. Apparently, we made her happy though because we now have obtained the Justice Arcana. In the evening, we head back to the computer and check out the lessons and etiquette file and gain 2 points into charm. The next day at school, Emo decides to hang out with Kenji. We go out for ramen, and Kenji gets on us about the whole Yukari thing again, but then makes sure to point out he likes his women a little bit older. We tell him we dig older women too, which gives him permission to let us in on his secret plan he brought up a few weeks ago. His plan, ladies and gentlemen, is to fuck one of his teachers. We all thought about it. That's right. You watching this. You thought about hooking up with that one random teacher who was mildly attractive. he's going to do what you looked up on Pornhub in high school. Anyway, he tells us about his creepy plan and we rank Magician up to 2. He then says his favorite show is on TV, so he needs to dip. We get home and Mitsuru and Akihiko bring up how it's been almost a month since the incident at the dorm, and they think it's only a matter of time before something else like that happens. And boy, they're right! We head to Polonia Mall and try our best at karaoke. Then we go to sleep. The next morning we bump into Akihiko at the gate, who asks us if we think we have gotten stronger, and we say we think we do. He's happy to hear it and we head into class. At the end of the school day, Emo remembers what the boy told him last week, so he heads to the dorm just to be safe. During the dark hour, Mitsuru is using a device to scan for shadows using her persona. Akihiko asks her if she can pull it off, and she points out that her powers just aren't strong enough to scan the whole city. But to their surprise, the scanner picks up on a shadow. Another big one. Akihiko heads downstairs and wakes everyone up, and we head for the command room. Mitsuru and Akihiko explain the situation. Akihiko plans on tagging along, but Mitsuru yells at him saying he would just get in the way. Frustrated, he says we need to appoint a leader for the mission and suggests us once more. Junpei becomes frustrated. He wants to prove himself capable, but their senpai have other plans. Mitsuru tells us to head to the station and she will meet us there. Once there, Yukari points out how full the moon is, and then Mitsuru shows up on a motorcycle. She explains the shadow is on the monorail. Junpei asks if that is dangerous, and she says technology doesn't work during the dark hour. Then Junpei points out her bike, which apparently was made specifically for the dark hour. That's convenient. We head to the tracks. Mitsuru explains to us that the monorail is only a little far off. We run towards it. Once there, we assess the situation and decide to head up.
Don't you dare look up.
Yeah, I won't. But don't blame me if I happen to catch a glimpse.
Say, why don't we dig Junpei a nice grave?
Inside, we investigate a bit, but then the doors close behind us. We are now trapped inside the monorail. Oddly though, there aren't any shadows here, but psych! A shadow appears and retreats. Junpei thinks we should go after it, but Lord Emo and Mitsuru think it could potentially be a trap. Junpei doesn't give a shit though, and recklessly charges after it. Yukari and Lord Emo are then ambushed by shadows. Easy enough, we defeat them. Yukari wonders about Junpei, but then we are interrupted once again. We defeat them and head further into the train. Yukari brings up she is concerned for Junpei and the way he has been acting. We see him up ahead being ambushed by shadows. He doesn't want us to help, but we do anyway. I like this fight because you could choose to just defeat all 3 of the shadows by yourself, or you can do what I did and use teamwork to beat all 3 of them. It's pretty cool. After the fight, Junpei arrogantly says he had it handled. He's currently being a whiny bitch because he wants to be the main character. Sorry bud, best I can do is wingman. Before we have any time to kick his ass for almost jeopardizing this whole mission, the train begins to move. And then it speeds up. We need to find the big shadow pronto. We head towards the front of the car. We make it, and that's where we find... Oh my. Does that say BJ on her tits? Lord Emo pulls the most badass save of the century on Junpei, and we begin the fight. Fight's pretty cool. They put a fucking timer on, and when you get her about halfway, she decides to cheat and speeds the train up, so we have to defeat her in even less time. Thankfully, Lord Emo is a god among Persona users, so we defeat her with 3 turns. Easy. GG's in the chat, everyone. Unfortunately for us, defeating the shadow did not stop the train. If it keeps moving, we are going to crash into another one, killing multiple innocent people and costing millions of our tax dollars. Junpei proves why he can't be the leader here. Not only is he reckless, but he's a pussy when shit gets real. Emo, on the other hand, the train is stopped. Mitsuru says we can head on home. Junpei and Yukari ask us about how Emo pulled it off, and he says it was a lucky guess.
Are you shitting me?
Everyone celebrates, and it's happy times, one and all. Back at the command room, Mitsuru updates Ikutsuki and Akihiko on how he succeeded. Mitsuru asks Ikutsuki if these sudden attacks outside of Tartarus mean...
It's begun.
Which is very ominous. Ikutsuki says they need to figure out the pattern of these events so they can be better prepared in the future. But more importantly, if Akihiko has something for him to drink because he apparently didn't get a cool motorcycle, so he had to bike all the way to the dorm. Poor guy.
Circle outside is yours.
Boy, am I going to be sore tomorrow.
And that is it for today's episode of Persona 3 Reload. Will we pass our midterms? Will we have enough yen to afford my bad arcade habits? Will Igor fuck up my fusions? Will Chihiro finally be a normal person? Find out next time. Catch you on the flip side.
I think I saw you in my sleep.